Hey YouTube, what's going on today? MemphisMike, and you can see I got the CB1100 in front of me today. And the purpose of this video, last week I did a video about my audio setup for motovlogging. A lot of you seem to enjoy that. It's kind of a new setup. I had a inquiry from a subscriber and a viewer who said, I wonder what the difference would be compared to a naked bike versus the full fairing GoldWing. And I thought, challenge accepted. So let's get riding. I'm going to close my shield down, my visor, and let's get riding. And probably what I'm going to do in post-process is insert the footage from last week's video and do it that way. So let's start this. Here's the CB1100 with motovlogging. I'm on this back road behind the school, man, so woo, I can just rip. Oh yeah. And plus that'll get a ton of wind noise too. So we'll see how that is. I'm about 60 miles an hour right here. And everything on this. And I did this road also as well on the Honda GoldWing. So let's compare that little road right there to the Honda GoldWing. I have my visor closed down. If you'll notice with the visor down, it's a little more muffled, I believe. I like to actually ride a little bit with my visor up, and you probably just heard a little bit of difference right there. You get okay. So now we're back on the CB1100, coming out here, just casually riding. My visor is down on this bike. I do love this Honda CB1100. So we're just riding along. We're just chit-chatting really about nothing. So let's go back and listen to the Honda GoldWing now. And we want to do the test right here for the audio on this particular microphone. And, you know, it'll give you a different option in setup if you have a GoPro 5, 6, or 7 and up. Okay, so that was a clip on the Honda GoldWing. Now let's hear a sample again here of the CB1100 right here. I'm going to raise my visor. I also did that when I was on the GoldWing as well, and it's actually a little more, I would say, muddy with the visor down. I could probably fix that in EQ, but this is a test sample on the Honda CB1100 with the visor open. All right, now let's go back to the Honda GoldWing and listen to a clip on that. We'll just go in, do an audio comparison. I will probably enhance the audio a little bit. I'll probably add a limiter on it so I can bring the gain up just a little bit as needed. Possibly a little bass enhancement if needed to process this. Okay, so actually now we're back on the Honda CB1100 testing the audio. I got stuck behind this car right here. I basically just have my microphone clipped inside the boom arm of my Cena headset. Now be sure and check that video out about my motovlogging setup from last week. You'll kind of understand. I'm going to go for it. Sorry. Do not do this at home. All right, get a little speed here. As long as there ain't no blue lights out here. Ha-ha. So let's go back and hear the Honda GoldWing a little bit from riding. One thing when it comes to YouTube and videos, people will forgive you for bad video quality, but they won't forgive you for poor audio. Okay, so that was a few seconds from the Honda GoldWing. So we're back on the Honda CB1100 now, testing out just a little bit. Basically, I'm riding the same roads that I rode, really kind of doing about the same speed and everything. And again, I do have my visor closed right now. I'll be curious to see how this sounds. I'm going to listen to it, and you help me decide. Hey, you know, I welcome your comments. And I welcome your opinions. Let's get back into the tool room, into the workshop, get MacBook Pro out and Final Cut Pro, and start the editing and start the mix down and let's kind of compare these, okay?
Okay, so I told you we'd come back and do a little chat about what you've just heard right there. Now, I will tell you this, what you have heard, I have already processed in Final Cut Pro using some of the audio tools. Both videos have got a little bit of compression with the limiter as well. May have been a little bass enhancement also. And the only thing I added different to the CB1100 was about a 30% noise removal. I did not do that on the GoldWing, but I did a 30% noise removal just to see if that might help out a little bit. You got to be careful with the noise removal. If you do too much, it will sound very terrible. So I think it's obvious in the comparison. And again, viewer, and I believe he has a channel as well, Bikes I Like, requested a difference to see what it would sound like between the two bikes. So that's why I tried to assemble this in one video. You need to go back and watch the original first video. I believe it's called Best Motovlogging Setup for Audio. Something that's been about, I don't know, 10, 12 days ago that I put that out. That way you can see my setup going on. But again, as I said, the biggest difference is, of course, we have more wind noise on the CB1100. I feel like on the CB1100, my mic may have been a little too hot for that ride. I think it may have been, I may have accidentally had the gain increased a little bit. I felt like I could have had the gain down about another 10%. I almost felt like I was overdriving the mic a little bit. It wasn't clipping, but I felt like it was overdriving and going on. So tell me your thoughts about it. Again, if you're curious, if you're going to motovlog and you're wondering, can I do it on a naked bike? Of course you can. People do it all the time. There's so many channels out there, naked style bikes, sport bikes, that kind of setup. So you can do it. The big thing is, if you got a motorcycle and want to motovlog, just get out there and do it. So I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. And be sure and check out some other videos. This is MemphisMike, and I will see you later.